Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video, folks. Today we are doing a PC4 roundup when Luke Humphries edges past Wessel Nijman to clinch PC4 title in Wigan, and also we are predicting Wolves versus Arsenal. Right, first up, heroic Humphries edges past Nijman to clinch PC4 title in Wigan. Luke Humphries denied Wessel Nijman the second place championship title of 2026 as the former world champion defeated the Dutchman 8-6 to claim his first ranking title of the year in Wigan. Before we get into YouTube channel, please hit the unsubscribe button. Humphries, who was without a players championship title since October 2024, claimed his first title of the year with a dazzling display of darts, redefining his status as one of the premier players in the world darts. World number 2 scoped the 15,000 top prize with an average of 104 against Nijman, his 6-ton plus average of the day. The Englishman trailed early in the contest as Nijman rattled off back-to-back legs to take a 2-leg lead before Humphries responded in kind to level contest at 2 apiece. Nijman, who had already picked up a title this year in Hildesheim the week before, took the lead once again with a trio of 5 visit legs before Humphries claimed 4 legs on the spin with winning legs of 12, 12, 14 and 12 darts to take a 7-5 lead. Humphries sailed the victory with 2 legs later, pinning a brilliant 13 dart leg to claim his 5th straight win over the Dutchman. Having kicked off his campaign with a deciding leg victory over Martin Drach, Humphries produced averages of 103 on 104, reached the last 32 with wins over Melvin Craft and Luke Woodhouse respectively. The world number 2 would then beat his Premier League rival Stephen Bunting before producing the sublime 108 average in a 6-2 victory over Niels Zonneveld to book his place in the semi-finals. This set up a scintillating clash against Gerwyn Price as the 31-year-old produced yet another ton-plus average to defeat the Welshman 7-4. Nijman, meanwhile, registered 2 ton-plus averages on his own, his first coming in his opening round against Yorick Hopkins before beating Ryan Meikle and Core Decker to book his place in the last 16. The 25-year-old then averaged 107 in a whitewash victory over Melvin van Velzen before denying Daryl Gurney and Callum Ridds prior to the coming up short against Humphries. Price edged closer to his first ranking title of the season as the Welshman, beating the likes of Sebastian Bielewski, Kim Hybrex and Ricky Evans before failing to Humphries with a yet another ton-plus average. Ridds also impressed at the Robin Park Leisure Centre, beating TV title winners Nopper and Dedeker on his way to reaching his first Pro Tour semi-final since February 2025. So the Riot produced back-to-back ton-plus averages against Ryan Joyce and Andrew Gilding, registering an average of nearly 108 in his whitewash victory against Joyce. Price and Ridds were joined in the quarterfinals by Niels Zonneveld, who found himself continuing his good form into the new year in Wigan, while a resurgent Dedeker made it to the quarterfinals for the first time in 9 months. Elsewhere, the former World Grand Prix winner Gurney to beat Dominic Grulich and Dave Chisnell on the way to his quarterfinals before scrambling to a deciding leg defeat against Nijman. Bielewski, meanwhile, recovered from his opening round defeat against Nathan Aspinall on Monday by advancing to the last day, claiming an early victory against his compatriot Christopher Ratajski before averaging upwards of 104 to beat Alan Suter in the last last 16. So the 2026 PDC Pro Tour season will resume in Leicester next week as Players Championships 5 and 6 takes place at the Mattioli Arena on February the 24th and 25th. So coverage will be broadcast live through PDC TV, bookmakers' websites worldwide in Germany on coverage, but also provided on Stream 1. And let's not forget, February the 24th and 25th, it's my last final farewell visit and farewell final week and final fair day of being cheeky next week. Come on! And the last final week of Kurt, it's too much, And also, go on, Callum, yes, Callum Reds, yes, Callum. Right, let's move on to the Premier League matchup. Bottom of the table, Wolverhampton Wanderers take on top of the table Arsenal at Molineux as the visitors continue their bid for a historical quadruple this season. Rob Edwards have eventually improved Wolves, but they have been the better since just before the turn of the year. Perhaps beginning with a hard-fought and a dramatic late 2-1 loss to the Gunners at the Emirates Stadium over the festive period. And it has been a very dull though. Wolves managed to squeeze past League Two side Grimsby Town by a goal to nil at the Bundle Park at the weekend, a few days after a goalless draw with Nottingham Forest at the City Ground last week. Mikel Arteta has been criticised for a lack of silverware despite general improvement during his tenure as Arsenal boss. And now the Gunners are aiming for the quadruple. They should really fancy themselves to do so. 4 points clear at the top of the table in the Premier League, top in the league phase of the Champions League, preparing for an EFL Cup final. Arsenal's dispatch of Wigan Athletic by 4-0 in the FA Cup last weekend. So, Arsenal can extend the lead at the top of the table to 7 points and returning to the summit of English football would perhaps be enough for their supporters to be content with, but they are in a position whereby they should get more, but they now face a Wolves side that will be very tight and difficult to play against though, but Arsenal have to remain as favourites, firm favourites in the Midlands on Wednesday night. So I'm going for Arsenal to win 3-0. So that's my PC4 roundup and Arsenal versus Wolves predictions then. Leave on your comments below, guys. We'll see you in the next one for the Premier League Week 3 predictions for Glasgow tomorrow or either on Thursday. Bye!